very first episode of Deja Talks. I'm Deja and this is Quinton Bracey. Today we will be talking a little bit more about him and his business, B.O.G Logistics. So, Quinton, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
My name is Quinton Bracey. I'm originally from New York, but we moved around when I was younger, lived in Alabama. But I was raised in Sumter, South Carolina. That's where I call home. I did, my, grade school and, a little bit of college there in South Carolina. I come from a small family, not a big family. It was my mother, me, and my sister, and then, my stepfather was there. My father, he was there for the first part of my life, and then him and my mom, they kind of separated and went their separate ways, like most families do. Well, it happens. But my stepfather, he came in, he's been my father ever since. So that's what I call Dad. I have two children, two beautiful children, Braylon and Taylor. From their mother, we're no longer together, but we have a great co-parent relationship, so I have no problems with that. I recently just got married to my beautiful wife, Sophia Bracey. Shout out to you, and Perk by the Curl, and So Danny Designs. That's her businesses. She's a graphic designer. A little bit about B.O.G Logistics, boots on ground logistics. I got it started maybe about a year or so ago. It's a logistics company, a transportation company, a small black-owned business based out of Elgin, South Carolina.
So what made you want to actually start the company?
What made me actually want to start the company? Well, all honesty, to have freedom, to be able to wake up whenever I want to. I like to work out a lot in just about every job I had, because I've had quite a few contracting jobs. Like, they would start having issues with me being in the gym, even though work was getting done. I would be in the gym for maybe like 2-3 hours, but still have all my work done. So at some point in time, somebody would start complaining, well, Mr. Bracey's always in the gym, or whatever the case may be. And I really kind of just hated being controlled and, having to wake up because I had no choice but to go to work, So now I have the freedom. I can wake up at 10, 12, 1 o'clock or whatever, and I can still handle business how I want to handle business. So basically, I got the company started while I was still working a 9-to-5. Overseas in Qatar, I was working for a contracting company. Great company, but like I said, I just wanted the freedom. So basically, to have that freedom and the state of mind that, if I don't get out of bed this morning for myself, I'm not gonna make a dollar. Bills gotta be paid. The lights gotta stay on. Food need to be in the fridge. So.
Right. So, what are some of the goals that you have for the company?
Some of the goals that I have for the company would be to, number one, remain a small black-owned business, but expand. Like, I always tell myself, like, I want to remain a small business, but I want to run as like a Fortune 500 company. Like, just because I'm small doesn't mean I can't act big.
Okay. So what are some of the best resources you have used so far?
Best resources that I have used so far would be networking. Connecting with people. That's the best resource I've used thus far from getting the business started. And like I said, I've been in business for like a year, and the greatest asset or resource that I've had is networking, and myself being a people person and talking to people, connecting with people, jumping on different Facebook groups, or even now, Clubhouse has been a huge, resource for me, with just connecting with people to put me in certain positions to, if not talk to the person, but at least talk to a step below so that I can get to the person I need to talk to. So networking has been key for me.
So what advice would you give young black entrepreneurs wanting to start their own business?
The advice I would give to young black entrepreneurs wanting to start their own business, go for it. Just jump off the porch. Like, everybody always says you have to have a plan. A lot of people ask me, like, did you have a plan? Did you have a business plan? Do you have a business plan? To this day, no, I don't have a business plan. But if I ever come to a bank, please don't deny me because I don't have a business plan. I will when I come to you guys. But Right now, I ain't got one. But, I would say, like I said, just go for it. Like, the first thing you need to do is start the LLC. Just because you start an LLC does not mean you have to immediately start doing things to run as a business. You just need to be legally seen as a business. Go ahead and open your bank account, just get things started, and everything will naturally fall into place if you do not have a plan. Like, if you have a plan, great, follow your plan, but not everything goes as planned. So if you have a plan, you need to have a plan A through Z. So my advice, just do it, Just at first, at least get the LLC. I tell everybody that. Just get your LLC or your S Corp or, E Corp, C Corp, B Corp, all those corps, do what you need to do to get in position to get started. That's all.
So, what do you think is the difference between a white business owner and a black business owner?
Oh, that's a good question. So what do I think is the difference between a white business owner and a black business owner? Mm-hmm. I would say, honestly, the only difference would be the resources available. That would be it. Other than that, like, we're all people, a white business owner can be just as hungry as a black business owner, but the difference is just the resources that's available to, each demographic. There's a lot of resources available to black business owners, and then there's a lot of resources available to white business owners, We, as black business owners, do have some of the same access to the resources as white business owners, but maybe not as much. And that's just how society is. So it naturally makes us hungry. I'm not saying that a white business owner isn't hungry, but, from what I see, especially now with things going on in the world, like, a lot of people don't want to work for anybody no more. So now we're getting hungry. We want to make our own plate, from start to finish. Like, we want to cook the meal, put it on the plate, and eat it too. Like, we don't want something already prepared by somebody else. So that would be the difference, really. Us having different resources available. That's all.
So, where do you see the business going?
For me, I see it, actually growing throughout the country. Like, I want to have plans to work alongside with the military, and also, working with the homeless. I want to be able to kind of sort of take the homeless off the streets, put them in position to where we basically rehabilitate them and get them back into society. I know there's a lot of programs like that, but there's not a program of mine out there. So it may be 1,000,001 of them, but I want to be 1,000,002. But mine is going to be different. So I see the business growing, having warehouses throughout the country, small little hubs, like a western region, south, region, northeast, type ordeal. So I want to expand but still remain small. That's where I see the business going, to be able to employ and help a lot of communities.
Okay. So I just have one last question for you. What motivates you to get out of the bed every day and go pursue your dreams and goals?
What motivates me is my children. I don't want them to have to work for someone. I want to be able to pass something down to them. I just want to create that generational wealth. Not saying anything bad about my family, but that's something that wasn't given to me. My mother, she gave me everything she could. She done, a lot for me. So I want to take a step up, from what she's taught me and what she's given me, and give more to mine. Like, even though I have children outside of my marriage, I want my future children to have the same. So I want to create something that all they have to do is just pick up and run with. Like, if they want to go to school, they can go to school, But now you don't need college to be successful. So I want them to be able to get out of high school, already know the business, and go from there. Because I'm also going to start another business, so I'm going to pass this one here down to my son. He already knows it. And then my daughter, I'm going to create another business and pass that down to her. And then the house I have now is going to go to my son. It's already set up to go to him once it's paid off. And then I have to buy another house for my daughter. So if I have more kids, I want to do the same thing. And my grandfather, B.J. Grant, he did that for my mother and my aunts. And every last one of them, he had a house for them. So, you know, they may not all still be in the same house for whatever reasons, but he provided for them and gave them a house. He only had like a 3rd grade education. So, he, you know, he still owns a couple properties, even though he's not here with us. You know, we keeping it going, but you know, he really set the blueprint. So I'm just following his blueprint.
It's a good blueprint. So, where can all the listeners connect with you?
Where can they find me? You can find me on Instagram. You can at me at BOG _Logistics _LLC, and also Facebook at B.O.G Logistics LLC, and you can find me online at getbootsonground.com.
Well, that is all for today with Deja Talks. I appreciate you guys for listening.